Today we are starting our trip from Sorrento after brunch and proceed towards Rome. You can see the stakes hanging in here, which has a date and a batch number. You can choose the steak you want to have and they'll cook it for you at Franco's. However, we decided to stick to the humble coffee. This time, the Italian one. And you can see the quantity. In terms of flavor, it was awesome. After the brunch, we started the train ride from Sorrento towards Naples, followed by another train from Naples to Rome. As we took a midday train from Naples to Rome, we reached Rome towards the evening. We checked into our Airbnb near the Rome Central Station before proceeding for the night tour of the Colosseum. In the large vestibule atrium of the Domus Aurea, where the Temple of Venice and Rome was later built, stood the colossal bronze statue of Nero, whose height reached to the third order of the Colosseum. After Nero's death, Vespasian had the statue turned into a figure of the sun god, and then Hadrian had it moved into a square to make space for his temple. The Flavian dynasty restored the spaces previously occupied by the Domus Aurea to an enjoyment of the Roman people. To this end, they built an amphitheatre inaugurated by Titus with spectacles lasting 100 days, the largest permanent building for gladiatorial shows, later renamed the Colosseum from the statue of the Colossal. While the Colosseum's most distinctive feature was the arena, its most important was the hypogeum, its underground area. The hypogeum was a network of tunnels and chambers distributed in two levels where gladiators and animals were kept before appearing in the arena above. We were soon joined by our fantastic guide for the evening.
About 7 millions. The prediction for next year is like 12 millions. So take the advantage of this tour because there is no one. Actually, there is just one group before me. And
there used to be an underground tunnel from the Colosseum to where the gladiators stayed. We were shown a short film to understand the lives of the gladiators. If you are wondering what is being shown here, it is the different types of gladiators that fought at the Colosseum. For example, the Murmillo was a heavily armored gladiator that used a large and oblong shield and a sword called a gladius. This is a hoplomachus, which translates to an armed fighter in Greek, where gladiators who carried a throwing spear, a short sword and a small round shield, and who wore a plumed helmet. The Colosseum covered an area of about 2.5 hectares of land, with its longer axis measuring 188 meters and the smaller axis 156 meters. Colosseum was built from an estimated 1 lakh cubic meters of travertine stone. Most of the labor for the construction of the building was provided by Jewish slaves who had been taken as prisoners during the First Roman-Jewish War. To put things in perspective, it is almost twice as long and 1.5 times as wide as a modern football field. The most distinctive feature of the Colosseum was the arena where the gladiators, prisoners, convicts, and wild animals fought and died. It measured 83 meters in length by 48 meters width. The arena floor was made of wood panels covered with a layer of sand which was drawn from a nearby hill. It is from this sand that the name arena comes.
Suddenly, there is a wall, but it was walkable. And we are literally in the backstage, like nowadays when you go to the theater and you do not have the chance to pull up the curtains, it's moving around. This is what we're doing. And this floor is not the original one. The original wooden floor covered completely the area, and the underground area was under this wooden floor. Sometimes we are very lucky.
The original flooring of the underground is retained in some places. Here we can see a gladiatorial mask. Here you can see the 2 levels of the underground. The hypogeum wasn't a part of the original design as conceived by Vespasian and his son Titus. It was added to the building after it was already inaugurated in 80 AD on orders of the successor emperor Domitian.
There was a group of monks, Buddhists, and they were like with other tourists during the night, and then they touched the surface of these blocks around me. All of a sudden, like closing their eyes and then touching the blocks. So I didn't get it. Sorry guys, what are you doing? I went. And the answer was, we are feeling the souls of those gladiators. From now on, keep your eyes peeled. You can take your pictures, it's fine, I don't care. But during the day, this place is a jungle. You do not have the real perspective. During the night, there is no one. So take the advantage of it. It doesn't mean there are ghosts, but we have to consider this point has been used for 500 years. Not daily, but for 500 years. And yes, indeed, we're talking about violence, we're talking about, killing each other, we're talking about sufferance, we're talking about, all the awful way to kill someone there on that wooden floor. Before going down there, I want to recreate the atmosphere. Actually, you are going to do it for me. Can you cover the lighting curve, please? That one, the other one. Their cages, of course, but it was very dangerous for them. And also, it was quite smelly. Have you ever been to a zoo, to a farm? Nice, you have lovely horses, but at the very end, the smell is quite strong. Well, that smell was here. This monument has been used for 500 years. We do not know how many of them die here. We do not know how many lions and tigers have been killed here.
80 vertical shafts connected the hypogeum to the arena above. Gladiators and animals could access the arena through the shafts. The underground also had an intricate system of drainage through which water could be pumped in and out of the Colosseum.
What happened when you killed someone? They were able to mock the death. There was a place where they were able to learn different lessons. Kids, men, women, they came here for free. They never pay any tickets. Those games were offered by those senators or by those emperors. And I want to believe that in one of these corridors, we have to imagine probably those gladiators sitting somewhere crying because that day for them was the very last one, wasn't it? They didn't know what could happen to them. So sitting somewhere, trying to think about their wives, their daughters, their families, their own countries so far, and maybe kissing like a memory, a necklace or something, and then all of a sudden from here, from the darkness, ready to jump out with the sunlight on your face without knowing what could happen to you. On this wooden floor there was some sand. Why? Think about the blood. To soak up the blood. And the sand also was used to hide, once again, to hide those trapdoors. When you fought, you didn't know where you were fighting. Next to you, the trapdoor went down, and that one was the moment when tigers and lions that came out. If I'm not wrong, someone speaks Spanish, and it stands for sand. Nowadays, we use in the US arena for football, basketball, hockey stadium. You are using a Latin word, arena. It stands for sand, to soak up the blood and to hide the trapdoors. Latin lesson for you. Yes, indeed. Yeah. By the way, why I'm telling you has been written. The Latin authors that describe this monument in every single detail. Yeah, I know, the very first time when I read it, wow, what? Seriously? Alligators? Wow, just Luis. Indeed, it really happened. And if you fell down here into the water, it was part of the game. There you are. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to lead you all the way up there. We are going to end up there in the middle, okay? We will mention the games with the water just later. Here we go.
The hypogeum was connected to the outside through a network of underground tunnels, such as to the gladiators' barracks and to the nearby stables where animals were kept. The Colosseum had a private access tunnel for the emperor so that he could enter and exit the building safely, avoiding the large crowds. The Colosseum's outer walls are covered in 3 levels of Doric, Ionic and Corinthian columns, and each level has 80 arches. Of these, 76 are numbered with Roman numerals, still visible above them in some places. They served as guides so that citizens could know where to find their seats. Out of the 80 arches of the external wall at the ground level, only 31 remain intact.
December 2022, the end of the tour during the night, it ended over there where the group is standing. It was quite boring, I can tell you. Starting from January 2023, so literally 10 months ago, now 11 months ago, we are able to walk all around the underground area because of this modern platform. Because of a private donation, we have this platform and then we can walk around. Also, there is a project, this wall, all here there was the wooden floor. Between the wooden floor and the ground floor, once again, that one that you can see there, or behind you guys, can you see the original floor? Bricks, yeah, like herringbones, fish bones. So that one is the original ground floor. When I read the Latin orders, it's written there was another floor between the stage and the ground floor. Where is it? It doesn't exist anymore, of course, because of wood. Do you have the proof? Can you see the clue? Not a window, it's a door. So that one is a very particular door, not for a room, but for a gallery. Can you imagine the gallery? Where is it? How did it go? The gallery, it went in this way. Can you see this one? This one is another door. I know that you were taking pictures. Do you look up the gate? The cages is okay. Can you imagine during the games just to make sure lions and tigers really in their cages and oh no, just please, I forgot. I have to lock them up. Just to make sure tigers somewhere, ostriches somewhere else, to not make the mistake. Elephants not from here. The elephants that came absolutely not. There is another clue. One down there. Oh yeah, it's like a forest. Look at that. A fake forest with real lions. those animals that took place not very often. Listen up. Those games that were organized by Mr. What's your name, sir?
Shumnat.
Shamat?
Shumnat.
Shumnat. Shumnat? Good. Mr. Shumnat is our senator, and he organizes games for how many days?
100.
Come on, be real, realistic. Come on, say it. 5 days.
5 days.
Good. Mr. What's your name?
Mike.
Good. Mike.
Yeah.
How many days for your games?
Go 10.
Wow, 10. How many lions?
There's 3.
Oh, wow. What about you, Mr. Mike?
There's 4.
4. How many elephants? Come on.
2.
2. What about you?
Let's go also 2.
But according to my budget, his budget, it was an electro propaganda around the Roman Empire. Of course, if I was an emperor, I won my game. Sure, done. It was very easy for an emperor, but for the senators, it was very, very expensive. I was joking, but it really happened in this way. A slave came to you, hey, my dear master, Mr. Mike is arranging his game for the next week, 10 days. It's time to do something. Good, let's arrange our games for 15 days. Fair enough. Yeah?
We are gradually moving towards the arena. The arena wall was made of red and black sewn blocks, marking a strong contrast with the rest of the building, which was intensely white. Surrounding the arena were the terraces, collectively known as the cavea. The cavea was divided into 3 tiers that reflected the societal strata of Roman society.
Side. So the Romans, they've been able to flood the underground area when those walls that didn't exist. Literally, it was an empty area. Picture in your mind like an empty place with nothing else, like just empty. And then they flooded the underground area like a pool. The water came here from the aqueduct. They've been able to flood the area, the underground area, starting from like early morning. Then they had the games with the navy battles, and then they were able to dry out this enormous quantity of water. It took time, as you can imagine, flooding, fighting, and drying out the water, and building immediately after a wooden floor for those gladiators. So they moved the games somewhere else, and then they built up those walls for those games with the gladiators and the wooden floor. Does it make sense? Now, if you have a look at this floor here, you see these holes. Where there are the holes, there were like teeny tiny wooden beams, just to make sure that if we were here in this dock, this was a dock, we were able to keep the boats, tying them up with the ropes. Does it make sense? Good. And then the original color is this one, white. Where you have been waiting for me, where we have been waiting for you, at the very beginning of the tour, this is the original color, white. If we brush those blocks outside over there, we have this, we can find this color. It takes time, but it's doable. Between the blocks, they never used the cement. The Romans, they piled them up one on top of each other. As the arches that you have seen at the very beginning, by pressure. Here there is another one, by pressure. And they piled them up. The only thing those engineers they used to do, just to make sure there was a perfect balance between 2 blocks, they poured the bronze like metal clamps, yeah? And during the medieval age, because the monument has been completely abandoned, people that came here and they stole everything. Do you remember the very beginning I told you? So they came here and carved in the marble, looking for the bronze, carving, digging out, pulling down the bronze, and then using it for belts, weapons, shields, helmets, cannons, you know? Your question could be, how is it possible the Colosseum is still standing without the bronze? The Colosseum is still standing because the foundation of the monument goes for 30 feet under your feet. So if we dig out down here, we can find these blocks for 30 feet, 9 meters. All around the Colosseum, not just here. Flying over the Colosseum, all around we have those massive blocks. Maybe you are already a curious person, but have a look around you. Under your feet, you are standing on once again original wood, original floor, right? And then this one is not the original one. That one is the original one. Yeah, touch it. Yeah, no, the other one. There you are. That one is the original one. Right answer.
Oh, I think it's a projector.
Right. So that one is the city of Jerusalem. It's related to these monuments because the Romans, they've been able to build up the monuments when they conquered Jerusalem, they destroyed the city, they captured those slaves, those prisoners, and then finally they've been able to build up this monument, I told you, in 8 years. Someone, 17th century, he came here, we do not know who, there is no signature, and this guy, he painted the city like flying over the city of Jerusalem. Alright? From where the gladiators, they step in and went out. So that one is the triumphal gate. Picture in your mind like in the triumphal parade, you know, picture in your mind the noise like drums, you know, and then marching and finally fighting. If they won, this was the exit. If they died, the exit was that one to the other side, so-called the gate of the death. Guess which one is going to be our exit? Exactly. Yeah, full experience. So that one is going to be our exit.
It was a breathtaking experience to see and experience the Colosseum at night. It was only the few members of the group with whom we had to share this experience, which was truly unique.
It was exactly above you here. There was a fast level like that one. You see the reconstruction? So what you have there is a teeny tiny portion, but picture in your mind the same marble sits around here. First, second and third level going up. If you are wondering what about the very top, is that one. Can you see the white marble blocks? There was the fourth level, wooden seats for, listen up, poor people and women, no matter rich or poor women at the very top. Wooden seats at the very top. Basically, you were over there standing in this like headset. Why is he using his voice? Why my guide is not using the mic? Because first of all, I am sacrificing my voice for you, and then also because I want to give you a full experience. Because back at that time, it was exactly the same, but it was able to reach them 70,000 spectators. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, maybe someone was still talking. Shh! Listen up, he went. Shh! Now, it's time to explain to you the plan of the day. We have 30 tigers, 50 lions, 2 elephants. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
And cheering up, and 70,000 spectators. On the other side, if something went wrong, and then if I was able to offer my game with 5 ostriches, that's it was rubbish. And they were able to insult me. Silly Billy, what are you doing? I don't like your game.
We have finally reached the arena, the stage where the gladiatorial games were fought. Colosseum also held hunts, executions, and right at the very beginning, a few staged naval battles.
Your friend, this place here is like a train station at noon. exactly where you are. People fighting, punching on their faces. I want to take pictures, move for war. I want to see. I want to say, it's absolutely insane. During the night, there is no one. The wooden floor it will cover, just because you're going to book your flight to come back. The wooden floor, the project, it will be a very amazing one because we will have the chance to walk around here. And the project, it will happen in 5 years. So have a look. If you want to read more, just Google wooden floor, Colosseum, new project. So that one is the first level. And as you can see, the distance is very close to the stage. So if I was a bunker, if I was a loony gladiator, it was so easy for me to target one of them and to kill one of them with my spear. It wasn't easy. Of course, soldiers around they were ready to kill me if something went wrong during the games. There was a net for those senators to protect them. There was a wall, there was a net, and on top of the net there were ivory wheels to make sure if tigers or lions they try to jump up, they slide it down. Those gladiators, they were professionals, like our professional boxers. They started this career to be rich and to be famous. At the end of this career, finally, they could be like future trainers for other gladiators. Very, very rich. We do not know the names of those gladiators. Rarely we can find those names in specific places that you can imagine. You have no idea. I'm going to tell you. There are specific places where they used to spend their time when they won with that enormous quantity of money. They used to go with the prostitutes. And we can find those names carved on the walls of their bedrooms. What a lovely night with these great walls. If they were thieves, if they were prisoners, they were literally puppets. The Romans, they dragged them here to show them what happened to the enemies of Rome. Today you are going to die and I'm going to squeeze you with 5 elephants. Today I'm going to show them what happens to the enemies of Rome, giving you a wooden sword. Show me if you are able to defend yourself against 50 lions. This gesture is a fabrication. It never happened. Yeah? Not because there is a camera. The Romans use another one. This one to say life, this one to say cut this throat. Or life. This one is a fabrication according to 1930-40 black and white movies. It's never happened. Alright? Good. Now, take your time for your picks.
On the arena floor, we can see a trapdoor through which the animals entered the stage.
And then for 350 spectators sitting here on their plastic fantastic chairs. And since then we use this monument because of the acoustic for those concerts. Andrea Bocelli and others.
After taking our last pictures for the night, it was time to go home.
Enjoy this time with us. If you really appreciate the show with us, please feel free to make an applause.
If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe to our channel for knowing more about Rome and Italy.